This year we are, as you can see, at the Maple on Board Vanguard booth, who's very kindly giving us some space so we can do the reviews and the interviews straight from here, which means that we have loads and loads, as in dozens of games that we want to show you. Welcome to So Play We All at Spiel 2024. I've known this young man for a number of years, and this is the most amazing ball of energy that you can find at Spiel. David, it's always such an absolute pleasure seeing you and how enthusiastic and how energetic you are at every Spiel. But this one is quite different because this year you're not explaining any game.
Yes.
You're actually presenting your game, Hot Pot Holic.
Yes.
Tell me about this. What is Hot Pot Holic all about?
Well, first I want to thank Paco to invite me to this interview.
It's always a pleasure, man. You're always welcome. Always.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, this year certainly feels different because this is my first game. Well, I can see how now everyone treasures the baby so much. Yeah. So let's get into this game.
Yes,
Yeah?
that's good. Tell me about it.
So imagine we are eating hot pot together.
Okay.
So each round there will be two different phases. A play card phase, and then we do the action phase.
Okay.
So when playing a card, there's a special rule. Okay. When someone plays a card, the color doesn't matter, but cannot follow numbers. So
Okay.
in this case, if I play 2, no 2s. Okay. 2 and 0, no 2, no 0s. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then after everyone plays a card, okay, we will look at this to determine the turn order. Right? So for example, I go first, and then second and third. Okay? And then when it's your turn, you can either choose to pick food from the central hot pot to your plate, or either from your plate to your stomach. Yeah.
Okay.
End of the game, only the cards in your stomach will score. In plate and in the central hot pot will not.
Okay, because you haven't eaten it, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
It's not in your system yet.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
And then there's two interesting part about this game is that your turn order equals to how many cards you can eat or take. So for example, your second turn order. So in this case, you can pick 2 cards or eat 2 cards.
Okay.
Ideally, you want to go later because you have more actions.
cards.
Yes.
Yes.
But then because we're eating hot pot together, if you're too late, when it's your turn, there might not be anything left.
Nothing at all.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And also the second special part about this game is that when player plays a card, when one player plays a 0 with the smallest card,
Yeah.
another player plays a K, immediately this will flip. So from this point on, 0 will be the biggest and then K will be the smallest. Yeah? So when you are playing the biggest and the smallest card, you have to watch out because other player might screw you up.
Okay. I'm loving how it really mimics the hot pot experience. Because the last time that we were there, you were absolutely right. If you arrive late, there may be nothing left in the pot and you have to refill it. Now, I have a question about the mechanics though.
Yes.
What happens if you cannot go because the only numbers you have are the numbers that have already been played? Can you pass? What happens then?
You show your hand and then you choose a card, play face down. This round, you'll be the smallest. Yeah?
So you still lose a card
Uh-huh.
that may not be convenient for later,
Yes.
but you don't miss a turn or anything.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, you never miss a turn.
Okay.
Yeah? And also next round, each round after we play a card,
Yeah.
and then after we finish our action, the card we just played, we'll add it in the central hot pot. For next round, we can fight for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a little bit thinking going on between. So let's say if you really want veggie, and then there's no veggie in here, you can play the veggie yourself. Yeah. And also within this game, I try to make the whole experience feels like hot pot. So for example, in your action, you can either pick or eat. You cannot do both. Why? Because in Chinese culture, we have a public chopsticks and a private chopsticks. So you cannot do both.
Okay.
So you use one first, and next round you have to eat. Yeah. And also because we are eating hot pot together, so you cannot be selfish. So the maximum that you can have in your plate is 4 cards. So once you fill your fill your plate, then you have to start eating. You cannot keep filling it, but no, don't eat because that's really bad. Yeah, and then also this round, the card that we played, cannot be picked. Why? Because these are still raw. Next round we add it in to cook, and then we can fight for it. Yeah, and then there's one concept that's really special. Well, every round, the player who wins the trick. So for example, 0 is the biggest, so it's you.
Yeah.
Imagine you contribute the most to the hot pot. So in this case, you'll climb one track up on this track. Well, we have a token. Usually we have a token.
Okay.
Yeah? Climb 1. And at the end of the game, there's 1 scoring for this track. Right? There's a second way you can climb this track. It's called perfect eat. So perfect eat is when you choose to eat, and then your turn order equals to how many cards that you have. So for example, I'm the 3rd turn order, and I eat these 3 cards, so that's perfect eat. If I'm 2nd turn order, I eat 2 cards, that's not perfect.
Okay.
If I'm 4th turn order, eat 1 card. 4th turn order, eat 4th card, that's not perfect either. You have to be 3.
Okay.
Okay? If it's like this, I have to be 2nd turn order to eat 2 cards. Yeah? And then when you perfect eat, you feel good, and when you feel good, you go up.
Okay, that makes sense.
And at the end of the game, the card that we have, we do scoring. And each we do it separately as a whole thing. So the whole thing, and then the whole thing, the whole thing.
And how does the game end? Well,
we will play for 8 rounds.
okay.
Yeah? And then one of the interesting scoring that we have is called favorite food. So we will have 9 hand cards, but we play for 8 rounds.
Okay.
The last hand card in your hand is your favorite food that you don't want to give away. So end of the game, the one that matches your color. So matches the color, each card worth 2 points. Yeah. And then, so basically this game, it's a combination of semi-trick taking with the set collection. But my game really different from usual trick taking game is that in usual trick taking game, the first order player and then the last order player has a lot of power. But in my game, it's opposite. The second and the third, whether it's play card phase or the action phase, they have more flexibility and power. It's because in Chinese culture, you don't want to be obvious, but you don't want to be less.
Okay.
So you want to be lukewarm in the middle, yes. And also because of this mechanism, there's more interaction going on between players. Yeah.
I find it fascinating. How did you come up with the idea to create a game out of hot pot? Because I know that you like bubble tea. So last year we spoke about bubble tea. But this is new. How do you think about it?
Well, at first, this topic was something else. So I have to think smokes for, at the beginning, I just want to create a game that's basically give a use for every card. The usual trick-taking games, only the big card matters. Sometimes the big card and the small card matters. But then I want to create a game that makes use for every card.
Okay.
And then so I came up with this system, and then in the middle, I do a lot of adjustment. Yeah. And then at the end, well, there's one point that the game feels like everyone is fighting for certain things in the middle. And then one day Smooks was like, this game feels like eating a hot pot. So I was like, wait a second, this can be my theme. Yeah, so I have to thank Smooks for giving me this brilliant theme and idea.
That's brilliant. And I love the illustrations. They're so whimsical. They're really silly and fun. Who is the artist?
Well, the artist, her studio is called Dudu. In Chinese, Dodoye. In English is Duduya, Duduya Studio. And she's quite famous on Instagram actually. She has 50K followers.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And then if you just FYI, I actually pay her more to do that. We have 4 different colors in this game, and then each color represents different food. So the blue one is like seafood, and then the green one are vegetable, and then the red one is meat, and then the yellow one is hot pot delicacies. Okay. Yeah, and then I actually pay her more to do the art. So each color we have 2 sets of 0 to 5 and with a K.
That's very good.
Right? You can see these are 2 same cards, but then the art is different. See, these are 2 same cards as well. The art is different as well. So within the 56 cards inside, the art are all different.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then also the token. This is a star player token, and then the back of it is different as well. Yeah, with the chopsticks.
I love it.
Yeah, and also in here, the track, the back,
also different.
Yeah.
That is said. I love the attention to detail.
Yeah. Even the smallest part, the plate.
Yeah.
So this represents our player color.
Uh-huh.
This is diagonal, and the back of it is straight. Yeah, yeah. So even the smallest details, we want to bring different feeling to the game. Well, not for this one, not
Yeah.
much. Yeah. But me myself, I like things really cute. Yeah, I go to, even in I go to cafe that's really pretty,
Yeah.
but the food sucks. Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
I have to thank the artist when the game first came out, because well, in the middle of the process, I almost give up on this game, because this game there's a lot of interaction between the players. So each player you have to, because there's a maximum of 4 cards in here, right? And then so basically you have to control your tempo, and also you have to look at other players' tempo to determine what order they want to do.
Yeah.
So basically within this game, there's a lot of interaction going on. And then while I'm doing testing, a lot of players, they prefer not that much interaction.
Okay.
So they think that this game is a little bit too dynamic, yeah. But then I actually enjoy the dynamic a lot, yeah. And then also, so I do a lot of changing within this game, and even this is a very bad example of me. Even the 1 month before the printing, I was doing the role changing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Smooks was like, no,
You
couldn't
were.
do
I bet
this.
you were not popular at the time. By me.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased that you've actually got this out, and I love your enthusiasm for the game. You've obviously
Thank you.
put
Yeah.
an awful lot of love into it, and it looks absolutely delightful. I know that you have already sold out
Yes.
here
yes.
at the show at Spiel. How can people buy the game?
Well, if you want to buy the game, you have to go to TBD's website to do pre-order.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm currently working with Smooks right now to see if we can give you guys discount to, yeah, because we want to cover a little bit shipping for you guys. Yeah,
That'd be
and then,
amazing.
yeah, and then that's something me and Smooks are working right now. Yeah.
Well-
Well, I have to thank every player that enjoy my game, that buy my game. Yeah.
Good. Well, and
Yeah.
I hope there will be an awful lot more buying it and enjoying
Yeah.
it, because this looks like absolutely lovely, and I love how it really mimics the Hot Pot experience. So for Hot Pot lovers out there, this is a must-have. David, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for
Thank
coming
you.
today with me.
Thank you.
And just stay tuned, please, because there are more interviews coming very, very soon.